Hey everyone, and welcome to Seoul, South Korea. We arrived here after a long but nice journey with the national airline of Mongolia aboard their 787 Dreamliner and then one of their 737-800s. We were fortunate enough to be able to spend New Year's here and had a great time exploring the country for a few days, but now it's time to head back to Mongolia. And today we'll be flying with JeJu Air, who operate out of Incheon International Airport's Terminal 1. This is the main international airport serving Seoul and is one of the largest and busiest airports in the world. Incheon Airport is a hub for JeJu, and it was easy to find their check-in desks. They're a low-cost airline, but one 15-kilogram checked bag was included with our ticket. However, our bags weighed a bit more, and we ended up having to spend about $30 to check our bags. The whole check-in process was a breeze, and soon enough we were through security and exploring the rest of Terminal 1. Terminal 1 is huge and has 44 boarding gates which can all accommodate the A380. Incheon opened in 2001, and Skytrax has ranked it as one of the world's best and cleanest airports. Terminal 1 was designed with passenger comfort in mind, and there's plenty of seating along with expansive windows which let in loads of natural light. There's an impressive array of shops and restaurants along with upscale lounges to help pass the time, but I was mostly impressed with the amazing plane spotting that I was able to do. As the main international gateway to the capital of South Korea, Incheon Airport plays host to airlines from around the globe, and it felt like I spotted a cool plane wherever I turned. So while my wife was enjoying free food and drinks in one of the many lounges, I was crisscrossing Terminal 1 being a nerd and looking at planes. But all good things must come to an end, and eventually my flight began to board, so I needed to head to the gate. Founded in 2005, JeJu Air is the first and largest South Korean low-cost airline. They operate a fleet of 42 Boeing 737s and fly to a variety of domestic and international destinations. And today I'll be traveling aboard this 13-year-old 737-800 to Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Right now, the majority of JeJu's fleet is made up of 737-800s like the one I'll be flying on, but they have an order for 40 MAX 8s and recently received their first 2 of these planes a few months ago. This aircraft has 189 seats and an all-economy 3-3 layout, and I'll be sitting towards the back of the plane in 23A. The seats were better than I was expecting for a budget airline. There was a large seat back pocket, and an equally large tray table that was adjustable. There were also overhead reading lights and air vents, and the seats reclined. The back of the seats had this plastic barrier on them, which I guess was to protect them and keep them clean. Unfortunately, I did find the legroom to be very limited. And since this was an older plane, the overhead bins were a bit small. The advertisements on the walls also reminded me of flying with SpiceJet. The whole boarding process was nice and smooth, and everyone took their seats without issue, but we soon learned that we would be delayed due to congestion at the airport.
With every congestion, we are still waiting for departure clearance. We expect to depart in about 5 minutes.
We ended up sitting around for about 20 minutes, but eventually we pushed back from the gate and got on our way. Incheon International Airport was built between 2 islands and took 8 years to complete. In addition to being a hub for JeJu Air, it's also a major hub for Korean Air and Asiana Airlines. It's also the 8th busiest airport in Asia and the 19th busiest airport in the world by passenger traffic.
Please enjoy your flight. Thank you. 감사합니다.
After we reached cruising altitude, the crew came around selling food and drinks. There was a wide variety of items available for purchase, but I ate and filled up my water bottle at the airport, so I didn't get anything. There's no IFE system or Wi-Fi on board, so I'd recommend downloading some movies or TV shows on your personal device before boarding. But if you forgot to download some content, you can always take a look at the in-flight magazine. There is some useful information inside along with the JeJu Air route map. In addition to their routes in Korea, JeJu Air also flies to 44 destinations in the Asia-Pacific region. This particular flight to Mongolia will take about 3 hours and 40 minutes and will take us up over China and Inner Mongolia before landing in Ulaanbaatar. After flipping through the in-flight magazine, I turned on my tablet and watched the movie to pass some time. Since there's no power outlets, it's a good idea to come prepared with your own portable charger. As we made our way to Mongolia, the limited legroom really began to bother me. The cabin also became very warm and the overhead air vents really didn't help. Eventually I needed to get up and stretch my legs, so I took a trip to the lavatory. There's 3 lavatories on board, and I visited one of the 2 that are in the back of the plane. I was here towards the end of the flight, and I was impressed with how clean the crew kept them. By the time I got back to my seat, we were well within Mongolian airspace, and I got some great views of the winter landscapes outside. And soon enough, we were getting ready to land.
Approaching Seoul International Airport. Please fasten your seatbelt, listen your seatbelt, tray table, and rest.
You can get some really inexpensive flights with JeJu Air, but at $229, this trip wasn't all that much cheaper than flying with Korean Air. My wife and I booked this flight though because it left at a convenient time, but if we had to do it over again, we would probably just fly with Korean Air. JeJu Air was impressive for a budget airline though. The flight attendants and ground staff were courteous and professional, and I definitely appreciated that a checked bag was included. And that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.